According to the surveys, over 70% of Americans wouldn't want a born-again Christian as a neighbor. Many perceive such a person as someone who has come from the wrong side of the tracks. Perhaps someone who has suffered from an addiction, or maybe even spent time in jail. Whatever the case, it's obviously someone who has messed up their lives so much that they turn to a fundamentalist form of religion. But have you ever wondered where the term born again came from? It first came from the mouth of Jesus, and he spoke it not to someone from the wrong side of the tracks, but rather to someone who thought of himself as being from the right side. One night, an older Jewish man by the name of Nicodemus came to see Jesus, and he came at night because he didn't want anyone to see that a man of his social status was associating himself with the likes of this carpenter-turned-preacher. You see, Nicodemus was a highly respected religious leader of Israel who had spent a lifetime climbing its social ladder. Yet Nicodemus knew that God's hand, for whatever reason, was upon the ministry of this uneducated and somewhat unorthodox preacher from the redneck village of Nazareth. Now, I don't know what Nicodemus was expecting from Jesus that evening, but he certainly wouldn't have anticipated what Jesus said to him, because Jesus had the nerve to tell this great spiritual leader of Israel that everything he had spent his life achieving, his social status, his academic credentials, and most important of all, his religious piety, meant absolutely nothing before God. That Nicodemus needed to be born again, that he needed to restart his life just as much as a prostitute and thief. Now, depending upon your background, this is either good news or it's bad news. If by society standards you come from the wrong side of the tracks, then this is great news. This is fantastic news, that no matter your past, no matter how much you've screwed up your life, God offers you a brand new start. But it could be bad news if you consider yourself from the right side of the tracks, and you already consider yourself right with God. You're a good person. You're certainly not like one of those. But from whose perspective are you talking from? Yours or God's? For example, from our perspective here on Earth, the difference between 1 kilometer and 1,000 is a night and day difference. But suppose that you were billions of miles in outer space looking back upon the Earth. The Earth would only appear as a pale blue dot, something that you could blot out just by putting up your thumb. Well, the difference between 1 kilometer and 1,000 all but disappears, doesn't it? And likewise, we may think that we live our lives so much better than that other person, but from a pure and holy God looking down from heaven, there essentially is no difference. Now, love it or hate it, that was the radical message of Jesus Christ. That no matter from which side of the tracks we come from, we're all sinners in need of God's forgiveness, whether we are a preacher or a prostitute. That we all need to be born again. Hey, if you want to help spread the gospel for free, then why not
share this video?
And if you like short biblical videos such as this one, then why not
subscribe to this channel?
And you can also follow me on
Facebook
and other social media, links in the description down below. Thanks for watching.